welcome to the first episode of Nite Swoop. I'll be your host, Albert Birchgold. I want to start off by thanking you guys all for tuning into the show tonight, and for those of you who came in our studio audience. We're preparing for U.S. Nationals, which we'll be bringing you the show next week live from Skydive, Arizona, for all of you who are there. Actually getting ready, we were preparing for our flight, and we ran into a friend of ours who had recently been on a flight that had gotten canceled because there was a crack in the window. He sent us a picture of the plane with the crack in the window, so let's see if we can take a look at that here. Yeah. So we've got a great show for you tonight. We have a couple guests coming in. The first is a longtime veteran of skydiving, has been in many competitions. Another guest who is actually attending his first national. First, let's run through our top 10 of the day. So the top 10 things to do when preparing for nationals. Number 10, pack your altimeter and goggles. Number 9, inspect your rig. Number 8, buy a new pair of white gloves. Number 7, clean your smelly jumpsuit. Number 6, get a new visor for your oxygen helmet. Number 5, buy some lotion and chapstick because it's pretty dry out in Arizona. Number 4, order a demo canopy for your second rig. Number 3, make sure your USPA membership is in date. Number 2, make sure your reserve is in date. And the number 1 thing to do in preparation for nationals is make sure you tell your boss you're sick and you won't be in next week. So our first guest has been skydiving for over 35 years, and he's been competing for over 30 years. He's owner and president of Skydive University. Please welcome Rob Laidlaw.
Thank you, Al. Great to see you.
Good to have you here on the show. So in preparing for nationals, do you remember the first time you competed?
Let me think back now. Yeah, I think my first nationals was 1975, and it was a 4-way team called Terrapin Flyers. And we went to the meet in Saint Antoine.
Having gone from that meet and moved forward and done a lot of different meets, do you think your focus changed much over the years, or?
Well, absolutely. I mean, that first meet, it was more or less a discovery. We really didn't have any expectation. So it was really more the excitement of just going to a new place, meeting new skydivers, having the adventure. You know, that was a different focus. And of course, over the years of competing and finally getting a slot in the Canadian national team.
You were on the Canadian national team. Do you remember your first world level competition?
Yeah, I do. It was Châteauroux, France, 1979. I was on the Canadian 8-way team. No expectation of winning whatsoever. I had no expectation of a placement. It was ready to be middle of the pack. We actually took a silver medal. And so it was just, once again, just the experience of being there and just having a good time.
Very
of course,
cool.
that changed. That was the last time that nice, easygoing feeling exists. Then you start to get the realization, the expectation, enthusiasm, you can win. And then the focus changed dramatically to really put in the work and the effort and really start challenging the first place, and the internal battles and the excitement and the butterflies. I mean, then all of a sudden it means a lot more. You make it mean a lot more. Does it mean a lot more? No, it shouldn't, but you make it mean a lot more. So all of a sudden that anxiety's there, and then you have to play the game of self-control, relaxation techniques, keeping your own focus in your own place, trying to avoid distractions around you. And then,
well, our next guest actually is going and will be competing in his first nationals this year. He has 550 jumps. He's been skydiving for about 4 years. Join me in welcoming Bill Schmitz to the show.
Welcome aboard.
Hey Bill, good to see you.
Thanks for being here. So as you're preparing for nationals this year, what's going through your mind? What are you thinking about? Any jitters?
Well, a little jitters, but I don't think that'll set in really until I get out there.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. It's going to be a new experience, so just kind of,
And you're competing in 4-way intermediate?
4-way intermediate with
Okay.
FSC wind damage.
Or anything you're doing in the upcoming week to prepare for the meet?
Well, we just had our last practice before nationals this past Saturday. The vibe was good with the team, so everybody's on the same level. And all we can do now is go out there and perform. So.
Nice. Well, good luck to you. Is there anything, Rob, that you could maybe share to Bill or our viewers as far as things they could do in preparing for the meet, or maybe words of wisdom?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, competing all those years, do you understand that expectation I was talking about and that self-control? And the key thing is trying to focus on your own game, your game plan, performing your personal best, and try to do your best to put intrinsic value into the experience. Otherwise, what other things you're getting out of it, just other than just going for the medal? And then maybe focus on all that, because it does help teams ground themselves, and also then stay on your game plan, stay in your optimal performance level, and then therefore sometimes as long as you run your game, you'd be surprised where you end up at the end of it.
Well, thank you guys both for coming in. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Our next show will be on Sunday evening, live from Skydive, Arizona, which will be the first day of registration for Nationals, and we look forward to seeing you guys there.